Hello, and welcome to the Sunday meditation of the Light Institute of Galisteo and the Sanctuary of Light. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we divide our meditation into 3 parts. In the first part, we ask our divine source, our higher self, to take a form so that in our human consciousness we can connect and allow that energy to incorporate itself in our third-dimensional being. We take the form, we draw it into our body, we sit in meditation. I make an Om sound so that you can push the button on your apparatus and meditate for as long as you like. In the second part of the meditation, we reach up into the cosmos and pull down a beautiful beam of pure white light down through the top of your head, quickening your frequency, down into your stomach. This is the center of the emotional body, where much of our sense of self comes from. And then from there we laser out through our auric field, that white light out across the planet, back into the sky. We do this with our breath. We breathe in, we draw the white light down. We exhale, we extend the light out across the planet and back up into the cosmos. And another Om. So you can continue doing that. Just that breath pattern will take you into a deep meditation. In the third part of the meditation, each week, people suggest how we can take our wonderful meditative energies and extend them out in a healing way, offer them out into the world. This week, what we're going to extend out is the light for healing, that all of the people who are sick or ill can receive that frequency to bring themselves back into the strength of health. If you're ready, we'll practice a little the breath first. Close your eyes. We breathe in through our nose. Breathe in through your nose. Hold at the top for a second. And now twice as slowly, exhale through your mouth. Once again, breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Leaving your eyes closed, ask your higher self. It's the intuitive essence of your soul. It's your own inner voice of wisdom. Ask it to take a form, any form. It could be a sunrise, a light, a being, a tree, an animal, an equation. Whatever form it takes, ask it to do it now. Ask your higher self to touch your body where you hold your divine essence at this moment. And just imagine anywhere in your body that your higher self is touching you. Bring your conscious awareness into that place, wherever it is. And begin to breathe in and out and draw your higher self in to that point where you are holding your divine source at this moment. Draw yourself in through there and sit in meditation. Reach up into the cosmos, and as you inhale, draw to you a beautiful beam of pure white light through the top of your head, slowing down your brain into meditative state, down into your solar plexus. And as you exhale, laser that white light out across the planet and back into the sky. And begin again. Breathe in. Exhale, laser it out. And just continue that breathing and allow it to take you into a deep state of meditation. Om. Taking a deep breath, call into your mind's eye all of the humans who are ill, who are sick at this moment, who need healing energy. That could be from physical or emotional, mental, any kind of sickness. Feel the millions of them coming in into one group, and ask that group what frequency of light they need from you to find the strength inside themselves to heal, to come back into the balance and the power that they have in physical form. See what color they show to you at this moment. And again, reach up into the cosmos and pull exactly that tone, that color, down to the top of your head, down into your stomach, your solar plexus, and exhale that out to them. And feel that as if the light were continuing to come in through you, and exhale and be received by them. And just feel that perennial frequency of healing passing through you, exactly the tone and color that they need from you, entering into all of them at once at the speed of light, and creating that motion, that impetus of healing energy within them. Just continue to allow that to flow. Breathe deeply and open your eyes. It's really true that when people tell you what frequency, the frequency of light that creates all bodies, that creates everything, and you send that to them, it does heal them. We have a second part of our meditation. It's called knowings. And people from around the world each week send in questions that they would like for us to focus upon in order to uplift us and illuminate our consciousness and extend it out to everyone who's joining us. And Allison will tell us the questions that have come for this week. Allison?
The first question is from Lisbon, Portugal.
Portugal.
Dear Chris, please, why am I so afraid of death and loss?
Death and loss. You are not alone. Thank you for that question. The actual source of that fear is our identification through how we see ourselves, our sense of self. So when someone leaves us, for example, or we're afraid of our own death because we will disintegrate, that person, that personality that we recognize, that we call ourselves, dissolves. It dissolves into something that is our source. Energy never dies, it just changes form. So you will not lose consciousness at its source. You'll just use your outer coating. But what happens when we fear the death of others is that we fear that what we're seeing as a representation of us, we identify through them. They are the mirror of our sense of self. And when they disappear, there's a hole there, and we can't fill it with anything else, just ourselves. And that's what creates the fear. And that's why we hold on to pictures and things that belong to other people, because we feel that if we can just remember them, if we can just somehow hold them into our lives, that we will still exist as we did before. But in actuality, spiritual truth is that what offers us at the passage of somebody else, or the loss of something that we've garnered or held on to as identification and that sense of safety that we have about who we are, when that is gone, the opportunity is to go on, to travel on, to change and move on with life. I have had the great honor of talking to many, many people who have passed from their bodies in spirit form, in other octaves of astral and other octaves in other dimensions. And they will always say, I would that my loved ones would go on, that they would love again, that they would let me go and reinvent who they are without my presence. It doesn't mean we don't honor our parents or our loved ones, but that we recognize that even in an accident, even in death, even in not wishing to die or to let go, that on the soul level, on the spiritual level, they have completed their destiny, they have completed their purpose, their mission, and they release themselves. And so we too must release ourselves in that way and go on. It is really, really true. They say these things. Go and love again. Go on with your life. Live now. They are not suffering. They are free. And they are speaking not from their personality selves, but from a spiritual energy, from a hologram of consciousness that's so far beyond what we see is real. I hope this supports you to let those things go and focus on your own evolution, that every day is a day in which you become new and your purpose in life presents itself and allows you to express through this magical and spiritual and physical vehicle in life. Great love. Allison?
The second question is from Amalfi, Italy.
Italy.
Recently, at a birthday gathering with my siblings, whom I rarely see but communicate with periodically, I realized that I have grown entirely away from them emotionally and the past we share. Our personal beliefs and global views are now very different, and I literally feel no connection to these people who now live in different parts of Europe. I have no desire to be around them again. So my question to you, Chris, is, am I karmically obligated to continue a steady, inclusive relationship with my siblings and their families?
From a spiritual perspective, no, you are not. But there is something very important about this kind of relationship that is karmic. And remember that karma isn't what you owe or what they owe or any negative thing of the past. It's simply cause and effect, action and reaction. So like any relationship, what is important is that you honor it. Honor that they are your relatives, your siblings, and that you've traveled with them in many lifetimes. And this is why you called them in. And maybe you've called them in for your own growth, to realize that your view of the world has become different than theirs. And so you can let them go from something that you owe them, that you have to communicate with them, and you can move into a higher octave of connection, so that you're always honoring that you brought them into your life, but not that you have to keep them there and that you owe them something because of that. They may wish to be as free of you as you are of them. But there's a trick to that. And the trick is that when we extend a loving, non-judgmental kind of energy to them, then that takes the place of all of that third dimensional, I have to call you on the phone, I have to see you because it's a holiday or something like that. And so we're going to do a little exercise right now to show you how you can sort of smooth that over and go on. Again, actually there are two of them. The first one would be just as we've done before, as we began, asking them what color they need from you, to know that you honor them, draw it in from the cosmos and extend that color to them, and then feel that they ask for the color, you're done. And they are done, you're both free. But really wonderful, one of my favorite exercises in consciousness is this. Ask their higher self, and you could ask the collective higher self of all your siblings at once if you want to, or each one. And anytime you think of them, you can send them color, or you can do this exercise, which is very powerful. Either of these two exercises will begin to either shift them releasing them in your life, or allowing there to be a change in your relationship. Finding that there are things that you can connect to that are not about just the past or your belief systems now. And what that is that you bring them into your mind's eye, you ask their higher selves, because actually it's your two higher selves that have made these contracts and vows karmically. So you ask their higher self to take a form, then you ask your higher self to take a form, which we're going to do right now, and then you just merge them for a second and let that go. And in that way you're saying, I acknowledge you from my soul's level. And then, having had that oneness, we each travel on. Ready? Close your eyes. Let's begin with your higher self, because it could be the same one you had at the beginning of this Sunday meditation. So ask your higher self to take form. Might be the same, or it could be different. Bring it into your mind's eye. Bring it to the left side of your body. And now either all your siblings or a particular sibling, especially one that you might feel very disconnected from, bring them into your mind's eye and ask their higher self to take a form for you. So you don't see them as them, you see them as their soul. It could be anything again. It could be a bird, it could be a light, it could be a horizon, a tree, an equation. Just see what form it comes in at this moment. And it doesn't matter if the two forms seem like they have nothing to do with each other. It matters not. Bring that form into the right side so that the two forms of the higher self are looking at each other, facing each other. And now, take a deep breath and allow them to merge for a second. The split of a frequency of a light, they merge and release. And open your eyes. And that way, you have moved yourself above either your judgments or your emotions or your memories or your who owes whom what karmic kinds of energies, and you have lifted both of you into new octaves of freedom, of choice. Great love. Thank you for that. I know that there are millions of people right now, especially at the time of holidays, that are thinking, I don't want to do this. Don't resist. Do it with your greatest love, knowing that whatever you gesture out, the way you live your life, is what frees you from being caught in that. Allison.
The last question is from Laguna Beach, California.
Laguna Beach?
In the U.S.A.
I know this place.
I know someone of your mastery has a reason for everything you do. Can you please explain why your intensive incarnational sessions must be 4 days?
Wow, I would love to. For me, and by the way, I've been doing incarnational work for about 64 years. It's a long time to be able to witness other people discovering the infinite incarnations of their souls. And so my higher self created a hologram. And this hologram is very important because it's not seeing other lifetimes, it's releasing them. Whether they're good ones, quote, or not good ones, or whatever kind they are happening now. Their energies are going on in your life now because of that thread that's beyond time and space. And so we want to unhook that so that we can evolve faster. And we want to make sure that we get around the circle. It's one of the reasons that I never do incarnational work on myself. Because if you're doing it on yourself, at that moment when there could be an illumination of something that will actually be the impetus for your release or your growth, you kind of sleep through that. That's why you have to have you who holds a light for you. So here's kind of the overview of the patterns. In the first day of our 4 days, we look at the themes that are going on now. And all of those elements of those energies that have held you back and very often those that have pushed you forward. But this lifetime, what those themes are, because we know that anything that's come up, the people that are in your life now, all have existed with you in the incarnations of your soul. In the second day, we begin our incarnational work, and we look at the source of those themes, going back into other lifetimes that are hooked into those themes, whatever way our higher self shows them to us. It might show us something that needs to be released or is limited, or it might show us a lifetime, an incarnation that holds for us a gem, a source of a higher way to be with it. And so we will identify through our own self these themes. The third day is kind of our you and the others day. It's you in relationship, because we humans must be in relationship. Everything is connected. Everyone is connected. And so we look at incarnations, perhaps within those themes or other themes that your higher self brings, but have to do with you and the others. How the sense of self links, or how you're able to connect your consciousness or your bodies or your joy or your purpose, your destiny, with others. And then the fourth day, and this is why fourth days, so we're really moving around a hologram that touches all of these specific aspects that are very central to what it takes to create the spiral of evolution. And on the fourth day is our day with the higher self focus. So we're looking at experiences of the soul and the higher self that allow us to realize that we are a part of the cosmos, that we are a part of the one soul, that we have this energy that will never die, but is always there guiding us. And so the more that we access our higher selves in these ways, the more and the quicker our evolution occurs. That is why it's never less than 4 days. Now, sometimes when people come to the Light Institute from around the world, they take 2 whole sessions, or they take an extra day to really clean up something specifically that maybe they're getting divorced, or there's a death, or there's a disease, or there's something that's very specific that they need more work on. And so maybe they will do that on an extra day. And then we would move the higher self into the last experience, so that from the beginning and around the spiral of evolution, we come to the higher self. And so we are moving and changing the opportunity or the reality of self from divine perspective. And that's why it's so sacred for those 4 days and above, but never less. Great love.